Hello, I'm Courtney, what's up? And today I am going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I saw this movie last week. I saw it the night before it actually came out at, one of those Thursday night premieres because I love those Thursday night premieres. And this movie, you guys, was just so good. I have been waiting 3 years for this movie, and this was my most anticipated movie released of this year, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. I already knew it was gonna be good. The thing I was honestly scared for was the soundtrack, but the soundtrack was great, and just this movie, it was so good. It was just so good. I personally think that Volume 2 was better than Volume 1, and don't get me wrong, I love the first movie. Like, it's great. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It always will be. Like, I love it. But Volume 2, it was just so new, and I loved the songs and the story. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen in this movie because I didn't look up any summaries or plots or whatever. I went into it knowing nothing, which I think that's the best way to go into this film. Like, don't do your research. Like, just go in there with a blank mind, because the movie took me by surprise, and I loved that feeling. I thought that feeling was great, so that's why I'm not going to really summarize what this movie is about, but I think this movie was better than the first one, but the soundtrack wasn't as good. I will always love the first soundtrack because a lot of my faves are on there, but I will say the thing I love about Awesome Mix Volume 2 is that it introduced me to a lot of new songs and artists, and that's what I love about these movies. It has a variety of music from the 70s and 80s, and I love that because, I didn't live during that time period, so I'm being introduced to all this music that I don't really know. But I think that's all I can say without spoiling the film, because I personally think you shouldn't really know anything about this movie going into it. Like, don't look up a summary. Don't, because it'll kind of ruin stuff for you. Don't go listen to the songs first, because I didn't know any of the songs that were going to be in the film, and the movie just was so much better figuring out the songs, as the movie went on. It just made things more enjoyable for me. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I will leave right now because I'm about to start spoiling the film, and you all should go see it because it was great. And it's one of my favorite movies of this year because it was just so good. So, bye non-spoilery people! Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm like just so happy that I get to like talk about this film because I've been waiting 3 years for it. Now I get to discuss it. This is just so exciting. I loved how the film opened up with all of them at that like place where they're like trying to protect those like that thing. I forgot what it was called. I saw this movie a week ago, you guys. Okay, I have forgotten some stuff. But then that, oh my gosh, that crazy monster comes, and I was like, whoa. And then Baby Groot plugs like that thing together, and then Mr. Blue Sky starts playing, and he's just dancing around while like everyone's shooting at this monster. Oh my gosh, it was great. Speaking of Baby Groot, I'm wearing Baby Groot on my shirt, and he's holding Awesome Mix Volume 2. I got this shirt at Hot Topic. It's like one of my favorite tank tops now because Baby Groot, I loved Baby Groot. Baby Groot was so great in this film. he was so funny. Like, I love the scene where Yondu and Rocket are in the jail cell, and Yondu's like, he doesn't have his like red mohawk thing anymore that controls the arrow, and he's like to Baby Groot, I need you to go to this drawer and find it. And Baby Groot brings back like a desk, he brings back a toe, he's bringing up all this random stuff back to them, and they're just like, dude, like, this isn't what I need. Everyone's humor in this film was great. I feel like this movie was really funny. Like, the first one's funny, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the humor in this, it just skyrocketed, and I loved all the humorous jokes, especially the ones from Drax. Oh my gosh, he had me dying. Like, all that stuff he was saying to Mantis, and how he would be like, yeah, you're ugly and disgusting. And then Mantis is just like, oh yeah, Drax is teaching me all these things about myself, like how I'm ugly and disgusting. It was great. Oh my goodness, speaking of Mantis, she is really cool. I really liked her, and I want to learn more about her, and I want to see more of her because She's my bae. She was great. I really hope in volume 3 we get to see more Mantis and Drax, because I was like secretly shipping them because they were really cute. And I loved it at the end when Drax was talking about, I think, how the funeral was beautiful or something, and then he was like to Mantis, so are you? And I was like, oh, he has a heart. He said something nice to her. Like, this is so sweet. I really liked Drax in this film. I think he really grew on me because, if I'm gonna be honest here, he was my least favorite in the first one. I don't know. He's just mean and scary in the first one. I mean, lovable, but like also kind of scary. But I really liked him in this one. He was really funny, and I just really appreciated him being there. I was like, I just want to give him a hug because he's just so wonderful, and I just love how blunt he is. He's so straightforward about everything. Like, when Mantis reveals how, like, Peter is having these sexual feelings towards Gamora, and he's just like, you just revealed his deepest, darkest secret to me. I really appreciate that. That scene was really funny, and I love Drax. I love seeing Gamora, my queen. She was slaying in this film, and I also really appreciated with her the relationship she has with her sister, and how, like, close they kind of got, because Nebula is there a good amount of the time, and I've always been iffy about Nebula because I don't really know where, like, she stands with, like, if she stands with the Guardians or with the bad guys. But I think by the end of this film, I think she's staying with us. Or maybe she's doing her own thing, because, like, she left at the end after the funeral. But, like, she gave a hug to her sister, and I was like, this is so nice. And then there was Rocket, which, don't get me wrong, I love Rocket, obviously. But he took me by surprise, because he was kind of being mean in the beginning, sort of. And, like, he stole that junk from the High Priestess, which I was like, really? Like, you're respected, you're a guardian of the galaxy, and you're still stealing? Like, really? 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 And then we got into all that stupid trouble with the High Priestess, and I was like, Rocket, this is your fault! But I will say, he does redeem himself, and I think he redeems himself with the relationship he develops with Yondu, which Yondu is really important in this movie. I wasn't expecting that because I don't like Yondu. I mean, okay, I didn't like him in the first one, but now I do like him because he helped us. He was nice, and I really liked the father-son bond he kind of has with Rocket and Peter. I really liked those scenes. And then there's my son, Star-Lord, Peter. Good old Peter. I love Peter. He's so great. He's just so wonderful. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad he's okay, because I was really scared he was gonna die because of his stupid dad ego. I was obviously very happy when the Guardians are, like, getting attacked by the High Priestess and her crew, and then, like, he, like, destroys them in one snap, and then they're, like, passing by that spaceship, and Rocket's just like, am I the only one who saw a person standing there? It was funny. And then they crash landed. And then that spaceship came, which, by the way, am I the only one who thought that spaceship looked like an egg? Because that's what I thought. And then he walks out, and it's like, sup, Peter, I'm your dad. And I was like, what? I obviously was like Peter and was very mad at him, because it was like, dude, you left my mom to die, and then you never found me, and now here you are, coming to save me, blah, blah, blah. I was very upset, like Peter. I can't deny the fact that once we got to Ego's home, or body, whatever you want to call it, it was beautiful. Like, with all the flowers and the water, it was just like, it was glorious. And then when they went inside his, like, palace, and how there was all the statues, and he, like, told the story about how he fell in love with his mom and everything, and why he had to leave and all that stuff, that's when I, like, started to trust him, because I was like, you know, this guy left for a good cause. Like, I can support this guy. He's nice. And then later on, when Peter finds out that he has, like, magic, and he makes a ball and they play catch, guys, it was so cute. When Peter was, like, possessed, I guess, it was so scary for me to watch. And I just knew in that moment, like, something wrong is going to happen, something bad is going to happen. And when Ego revealed that he was the one who gave his mother cancer, I wanted to slap Ego in the face. And then what made me even more mad was when Peter, like, had his awesome mixtape, you know, in his pocket, and then Ego destroyed it. And I was like, alright, He just crossed the line. I was really scared that the whole squad was going to die. Not just one person, not just one guardian, but everyone. Because once they got to the core of, like, Ego, things started getting messed up. Like, I really thought Peter was going to die. And I was like, if he does, I'm out of here. I'm never watching any of these movies again. I am about to unfollow James Gunn and hate him for the rest of my life. But surprisingly, no one died, except Yondu. I am still very upset that Yondu died, because he didn't deserve it. He deserved to live and be with the squad and start over and live a good life. But no, he sacrificed himself, and I don't appreciate it. And what made things even sadder was when they're out of space, you know, Peter's freaking out and everything. Yondu goes like, Ego may be your blood, but I'm your daddy. And I just realized in that moment that Yondu is his real father. He was the one who was there for him and raised him, and that made things even more sadder for me and made me want Yondu to live. I wanted to find a way to keep Yondu alive, but I mean, there was nothing to do. It was just so sad. Yondu's funeral was so beautiful though, and how all the Ravagers came. There was the fireworks, and the movie ends with Rocket crying, which was so unexpected. Like, I wanted to cry. I was getting teared up because Guardians of the Galaxy ends happy, you know. They're on their new spaceship and the whole squad's together and they're gonna go save the world, and it's full of happiness. But it ends on a sad note, which it was a beautiful ending, don't get me wrong, seeing Rocket in that vulnerable state, but at the same time, it was so sad. But that, my friends, was my review on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please tell me your thoughts on this film in the comments section down below. And I'm Courtney, and I'll see you all next time with a new video soon, so I will see you then. So, bye! Yo!